I've seen a lot of good businesses that make money, but then it's their cash flow they don't manage.
Yes.
So I think auditing the flow and timing of your expendables, your receipts, when you're holding on to things, so you could be very surprised.
Good morning.
Morning. Yep, everything's working.
Welcome back to Expandable. For the next couple episodes, what I thought we could do is just sort of like big picture. If you're running a business, I'm running a business, we're talking to business owners that are operating every day. For this episode, what's the advantage? What's the positive thing of looking back in your business and saying, what have we done? And I'm saying from a day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year. And what that looks like practically is audits, right?
Okay.
So in your business, and then thinking broadly, other businesses, what are some of the main areas that you want to audit that will give you data, even though it's retrospect, to inform what you're doing now and moving forward?
Okay. Well, I mean, obviously in the banking world, our main, everything is audited daily.
Yeah.
Reconciliations of accounts, incoming files and things. But that's our line of business in banking. So take that aside. What do we do to run the bank?
Correct. As
far as an audit, that the separate side, and that would correlate to all industries, I think, would be auditing your cash flow. Mm-hmm. Because, I've seen a lot of good businesses that make money, but then it's their cash flow they don't manage.
Yes.
So I think auditing the flow and timing of your expendables, your receipts, when you're holding on to things, so you could be very surprised of speeding up some areas, or maybe you're ordering too quickly, maybe you're ordering too late, running into areas, maybe double up on certain supplies where you get price breaks.
Yeah.
So I think to hit that first is look at the flow of it.
Agreed.
And then, you can spot that and then drill down granular into one section. Yeah. Because I think what happens is people, they get really put off and they don't want to jump into the auditing. They don't want to look at it. They go, this is just a huge thing.
They don't know what they're going to find.
They don't know. And you never really do know what you're going to find. Yeah. And sometimes I'll just pick an area of the bank that I haven't touched or thought of in years. Yeah. Like, okay, do we still do things that way? And go back and then go talk to that area and audit and question them. Yeah. And so it leads into a lot of different areas, and you'd be surprised. Right. And going into it with eyes open, you just kind of say, wait a second, why do we bring in this much money here in this part of the year? Okay, is there something we can do on that? Yeah, and it's not like the attitude of I'm going to go find some dirt and I'm going to, this is going to lead to negative things. It's more of I want to have my eyes wide open on all of these things that are happening in my business, and I want it to inform me so I can lead well, and I want it to inform the team because we're all this way. When you're in the work, it's hard to see. And you could have a month that is very slow because, especially business owners, when you're in a business and you're thinking about even taking time away, taking a week on vacation, it's not like somebody that's employed that have got, PTO. Yeah. That week you're going on vacation, let's assume you've planned for that, and, it's costing $5,000 to go on vacation extra than what you normally would spend that week on food and everything else. Well, then you're at a loss if all your work you didn't perform. If you're billing hourly, 40 hours, 100, there's another $4,000 or $5,000. It doubled the cost. Correct. So, maybe look in cash flow, and there's areas of time where we're like, wait a second, sales are actually pretty slow at this time. This is going to be the time that we are going to shut down. Yeah. Because we're actually losing time here. So, that vacation that cost me $5,000, really it's only going to cost $2,500 now because we lost $2,500 that. Yeah. It could take you down that route. Right. And just be more proactive. You don't know what you don't know until you start looking into it. And I love it. I mean, if there was only one thing that we covered, is cash flow, I would say it's the most important thing. And let me give you an example. A client of mine, this has just happened this week. A client of mine she does training in the medical field for ophthalmology practices, trains their technicians. And so she's flying all over the U.S., going to in person with practices and working with their teams. And so her trainings are, $5,000 to $10,000 for a week of her and her team being there and doing all the things. And she historically has been charging all of that. Okay, and I'll add,
travel, food, all the stuff that goes along with it. So you're talking maybe $12,000 to $15,000 that she's putting on the table in order to serve this client. You see where this is going?
Yeah.
She was paying all of that herself and then billing them in the rear and getting paid 30, 60, 90 days after they'd done the work. And I'm like, well, this has got to change. Like, this is a cash flow problem. And so what we did was we said, okay, why don't we start asking for half and let's see how that goes. They were like, yeah, sure. We'll pay half deposit. She's still charging all the travel on her card, which is actually good because she's making points. And then we have a system for her to utilize those points. But then she's like, well, why not just ask for all of it? And so now she's getting 100% of the payment on the close of the sale up front. So that's, so call it $7,000, right? Yeah. Now she's paying for the travel on her credit card. But
she already collected the money for it.
She collected the money, but then she's getting all the rewards on that, which add up when you're traveling that much. I think she's got over 1 million points or something right now. It's crazy. And so she now has cash flow positive in the front. And if you times that by 4, 5, 6, 10 clients a month, you have a pretty good amount of cash flow coming in when you haven't even delivered the work.
And she may be able to net. And yeah.
But here's where it really plays out that for a positive for a business owner, especially a lot of boomers that are trying to sell their company. When you get into the weeds, like you're talking about, and you realize, oh, if we shift and do this, it's not a big deal. It changes the value of your company.
Absolutely. Because
she wants to sell her company. And now investors looking at it are going to say, oh, wait, I get to play around with about $100,000 a month before we've delivered. I have all that money to play around with, invest in marketing and sales and whatever. Like, I want
even
that business.
A little change, it nets you or makes you or saves you $500 is the same thing as you already got an ongoing business, but that is now amplified. You're going to sell.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a lot of little changes. And especially if you have lines of credits, take a look at that.
Yes.
Because maybe if you sped up paying it down more because you're not paying interest, we don't need that line of credit. So, there could be excuses. Your bookkeeper
less reliable.
Your bookkeeper could be like, no, the money came in, receive the check via ACH from the vendor.
Yeah.
Pay the line of credit immediately.
Yeah.
Pay it down. That's less interest you're paying. So,
well, and I'll say to the auditing topic, how we got to her cash flow issue was auditing her sales process. Because that's mostly what I do. Okay. We're looking at her sales process and say, okay, walk me through every single step. And then you do this and then this happens, almost like a Six Sigma type of thing. And I'm like, so you do the proposal and then they pay you, right? And she's like, no, we don't pay until down here. I was like, why? You're going to travel and do all this stuff. They may not ever pay you. So that's got to change, and it's just like that auditing that one thing, it produced so many other good things, but that one thing was critical.
Not only the peace of mind that gave her, then she can make money from the money.
Yeah. Because, her business is up and down because it's not a constant thing. So when it's down and she still has cash in the bank and there's cash coming, that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
Peace of mind is a pretty good thing, and cash flow is where it's at.
Yeah. And if she was able to do it 60, 90 days in rear, now up front,
it's a game over. Yeah. Yeah. She can really build her business. So it's huge. So, I think honestly, to not dilute that one point, I think that's it. Like, that's what people need to go do is go look at your cash flow.
Yeah.
Why try to talk about anything else? We can talk about stuff another time, but from an auditing standpoint, start there and just spend some time on your cash flow.
Yep. Drill down, ask questions. If you don't understand it, that's a problem.
And all the things that touch cash flow, like I was talking about sales, like how does the money come in? How does the money go out? It's how you're operating your business in that way is going to mean so much to.
Correct. And,
staying in business
and his companies. And if you don't know, and as you grow at some point too, you get to your accounting methodology is probably going to change and you're going to go to accrued basis.
Yeah.
And so remember the work you did in this, in a given year, even though you didn't get paid, you promised to pay later, you did that work. That's earnings for the year. So you've got accrual methods. That's right. And you get, it makes a big difference.
That's right. Yeah. Pulling in your tax, your CPA or tax strategist into those conversations when you get down in the weeds is good idea too. Bringing in other experts to give you that outside perspective.
Yeah.
It's good. All right. Now on to the next episode where we're going to be looking forward.
Okay.